Hello, fellow Stone Seekers. Welcome to Lessons with Darb the Bard. Are you ready to master Wonders of the First? Whether you're a new recruit or just need a rules refresher, you're in the right place. Today, I'm walking you through everything you need to know to play your very first game. In this game, you are a Stone Seeker battling for control of mysterious stones across 7 different realms. Over 7 rounds, you'll summon wonders, cast spells, and deploy lands and items. Control the most stones by the end of round 7, and victory is yours. To play the game, you have to speak the language of the cards. Let's look at Emma Fixum Shockbite. Her name is at the top left. We know Emma is a wonder because she has a power of 6 listed in the top right corner. Her wonder card type is also listed on the left side here. Her class is Augmented Mercenary Bioengineer. Pay attention to this, as other cards might have synergies with specific classes. She belongs to the Shockbite Mercenary unit. Not all wonders have a faction, so this space will be blank on some cards. A card's tier tells us how many copies can be in your deck. Emma's tier is Legendary, meaning you can only have 1 copy of her in your deck. Remember, primary cards allow 2 copies, and secondary cards allow 3. Emma belongs to the Heliosynth orbital, shown by her brown border and this symbol. The other orbitals are Boundless Gray, Patria Green, Sulfera Red, Thalwind Blue, and Umbrathine Purple. Because Emma has the core designation, you must have a Heliosynth link in play, usually from a land, to cast her from your hand. If a card doesn't say core, you don't need a link to play that card. This makes it easier to play non-core cards in any deck. Emma's base cost is 5 energy. However, since energy costs are reduced by 1 if you have the matching orbital link in play, Emma will only cost you 4 energy with the Heliosynth link. The M in the bottom right tells us she is a mythic rarity. Mythic is the rarest. Followed by epic, then rare, then uncommon, and finally common. While rarity doesn't change gameplay, it tells you how hard a card is to find for your collection. The small type here tells us the card number and set. This is helpful for collecting and organizing your cards, but again, does not impact gameplay. Finally, card abilities are printed near the bottom. Emma makes your items attuned. I'll explain that later. And she buffs your equipped wonders when they attack. Next up, we have lands. These are the backbone of your deck because they reduce the energy cost of your cards and let you defer actions for later through their harvest abilities. You can identify a land by the L icon in the top right and the land label on the left-hand side. Wave Whisperer Bay shown here gives you a specific orbital link called Thalwind Link. Having this in the world is what allows you to cast core cards from the Thalwind orbital. The Thalwind link also means you can cast your other Thalwind cards for 1 less energy cost. The same is true for links of all other orbitals. Tip: having a second land of the same orbital does not reduce the cost of those cards by a second energy. For example, if I have a Glacium Keep and Wave Whisperer Bay in play, my Thalwind cards are still only reduced by 1, not 2. Lands have a harvest ability. This means you can tap them to gain 1 action. More on actions later. Lands also have other abilities that may trigger or be activated at various points throughout the game. For example, Wave Whisperer Bay lets you look at the top card of your deck when you play it, and then put that card back on top or on the bottom of your deck. Now let's look at items. These are permanents that stay on the board to give you ongoing advantages, but they come in 2 distinct flavors. Both of these cards show the eye icon in the top right corner, marking them as items. They are also labeled as items on the left side as shown here. The Gem Blade Sword is an equipment item. These are typically attached to a wonder to boost their stats, like giving a wonder +2 power. Or they could give the equipped wonder a variety of other abilities. On the other hand, the Broken Eldritch Idol is a non-equipment item. Note it does not say equipment in the class. Non-equipment items do not attach to a specific character. Instead, they sit in a realm and provide unique effects or activated abilities. For example, the idol here causes each player to discard a card when it arrives and can be tapped to let you recover a card from the abyss. Finally, we have spells. You can identify a spell by the S icon in the top right corner and the spell label on the left. Spells are one-time effects with a wide range of abilities. For example, Strength Augmentation shown here lets you put 4+1 counters on a wonder, increasing the wonder's power to make it stronger in battle. Unlike lands or items, spells go straight to the abyss after their effect resolves. Now that you know what the cards are, let's talk about where they go. The playmat is divided into several key zones that both you and your opponent will use throughout the game. This central area is called the World and is the heart of the game. This is where your wonders, lands, and items live while they are in play. There are 7 distinct columns called realms where you can position your cards. If using a typical playmat such as those that came with the Existence starter decks, your deck sits in the bottom left corner. Located in the bottom right, the Abyss is your discard pile. This is where spells go after use and where wonders, lands, or items go when they are destroyed or sacrificed. Sometimes a card doesn't just go to the Abyss, it gets banished. Think of this as being removed from the game entirely. While there are many ways to interact with cards in the Abyss, once a card is banished, it's usually gone for good, although there are exceptions. Play carefully. The cards you draw are kept in your hand. Your opponent may know how many cards you have, but the contents remain a secret. Your opponent's setup is a mirror image of yours with their own deck, Abyss, and hand. Before the first card is played, we need to set the stage. First, determine who goes first. The winner of a high roll or coin toss becomes player 1. Next, decide the orientation. The player who goes second decides which side of the world will be Realm 1, with the other realms following in numerical order. Once oriented, shuffle your deck and draw 7. If you're not happy with those 7 cards, you get 1 mulligan to try for a better starting hand. Put up to 3 cards from your hand to the bottom of your deck. Then draw that many to get back to 7 cards. Remember, you only get 1 shot at this, so choose wisely. Tip: if you're missing the orbital links you need for your deck, mulligan to dig for them. Especially if you have core cards that require the orbital link, take advantage of the mulligan. In Wonders of the First, the world literally opens up as you play. A match consists of 7 rounds, and each round unlocks a new realm. Start of round 1, place a stone in the center of the first realm. This signifies that Realm 1 is now active. Cards can only be played into or interact with active realms. Before player 1 begins, both players prepare their resources. In round 1, you'll set your trackers, usually dice, to 3 actions and 1 energy. These are the currency you'll spend to play cards and take other game actions that I'll explain soon. Finally, every player draws 1 card for the round, bringing your total cards to 8 to start the game. With your resources set and your hand ready, player 1 begins their first turn. With your resources pooled, it's time to act. In Wonders of the First, each turn involves a single action. Each action you use depletes your action pool. While you start with 3, certain cards, like lands with harvest abilities, can grant you more as the round progresses. During each of your turns, you can spend 1 action to perform any of the following: draw a card, play a card, activate an ability, attack, or pass. Let's look at each of these in more detail. First, you can use an action to draw a card from your deck. This one is straightforward. Spend an action to dig deeper into your deck and keep plenty of options in your hand. You can also use an action to play a card from your hand. Here are some foundational principles to remember when playing cards. Number 1, energy costs. Most cards you play require some amount of energy to pay the cost on the card. There are ways to reduce the energy cost of your cards, such as the orbital links explained earlier. But keep in mind the discount rule. You can find ways to slash energy costs, but cards can never cost less than 0 energy. Number 2, cheat the system with Attuned. Want to save your precious actions? Look for the Attuned keyword. If you meet the Attuned requirement, meaning you control a land of the named orbital, playing that card costs 0 actions, though you must still pay the energy cost. It's the ultimate way to sneak a wonder into play and catch your opponent off guard when they think you're out of options. Number 3, location matters. Depending on what you're playing, your card has a specific destination. Remember that wonders, lands, and items all go into an active realm. Tip: you aren't stuck in the present. If you're in round 5, you can play a card into realm 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Deciding which realm to place each card, especially in later rounds when more realms are active, is a huge part of the game strategy. Also, there is no limit to how many cards can chill in a single realm. Crowd as many or as few cards into the same realm as you wish. Spells operate differently as they don't stick around. Cast them and send them straight to the Abyss. Number 4, the power of the active player. When you play a card, a chain reaction of effects might trigger. Here's the best part: if it's your turn, you are the boss. You decide the order in which all triggered effects resolve. But here's a warning. On your opponent's turn, they get that power. Plan accordingly before passing your turn. Number 5, on play versus on arrival. On play. These trigger the second the card leaves your hand, happening before the card even hits the board. On arrival. These trigger when a card enters the world from anywhere: hand, deck, banishment, or the Abyss. Tip: moving a card from one realm to another is not an arrival and will not trigger an on-arrival ability. It's just a relocation. You can also use an action on your turn to activate the ability of a card on board. This could mean using a tap ability of a card, a sacrifice ability, or a keyword ability such as Harvest. If a card has a tap ability, you turn it sideways to trigger a powerful effect. Once a card is tapped, it stays tapped for the rest of the game, unless another card effect untaps it. Here's the kicker: tapped cards can still fight. For example, tap Keeper of Jury Skulls and target itself to give it +1 for each card you own in the Abyss. Even though it's sideways, the Keeper still swings with that massive power during battle. Talk about a power nap. You'll notice that some tap abilities say tap action, while others say tap free. Tap action means the tap ability uses up an action. Tap free means you tap it and get the effect without depleting your action pool, although it still uses up your turn. Take advantage of any free actions you find. Sometimes greatness requires a little loss. Sacrifice abilities require you to send a card you control from the world straight to the Abyss. Same as tap free, sacrifice free means you can sacrifice the card and get the effect without depleting your action pool. Tip: a sacrificed card counts as death, but it does not count as being destroyed. This is an important distinction for those tricky card combos. This means a sacrificed Moonfire Crystal Mouse would trigger Mask of the Abyss to draw a card, but it would not trigger the Desert Survivor NBC suit. Finally, you can also use a turn to activate Harvest abilities. Harvest is an ability usually found on lands, although it can be found on other cards as well. Currently, all Harvest abilities in the game say, Harvest, gain 1 action. Harvest is a special tap-free action, which means you tap the card to get the ability without using up your action for the turn. You can even activate Harvest abilities when you're out of actions for the round. Tip: gaining the action with your Harvest ability still counts as your turn, so you can't use that new action on the same turn you harvested it. Think of it as planting seeds for a later turn. You simply tick up your action pool, and then it's your opponent's turn. Keep that in mind when deciding when to harvest. Unlike other tap-free actions, cards with Harvest follow the Mass Harvest rule, which means you can activate all your Harvest abilities at once. This is meant to keep the game moving and avoid excessive passing. For example, if you have 5 untapped cards with a Harvest ability, you can tap them all in one go, end your turn, and end up with 5 actions banked before your next move. You can also use an action on your turn to attack. In Wonders of the First, combat is a crucial part of the game, a tactical struggle to maintain the highest power in the realms to both capture and defend the stones. You can initiate an attack in any active realm where you have 1 or more wonders present. Here are some foundational principles for attacking. Keep these things in mind when you plan your attacks. Number 1. Strength in numbers. All wonders in a realm must attack together as a single force. Number 2. No strike limit. You can use multiple actions to attack in the same realm repeatedly if you choose. This can be especially powerful if your wonders get bonuses when they attack. Number 3. One prize at a time. The winner of the battle seizes 1 stone from that realm. Certain cards introduce new stones or move stones to new realms. So, if multiple stones end up in one realm, the attacker chooses which one to take. Number 4. Defenders can seize stones. If you possess a stone and attack but lose the battle, the defender seizes that stone from you. You typically won't do this, but it can be advantageous in some strategies. Number 5. Free attacks. Sometimes you'll earn free attacks. These are tracked like energy or actions but can only be used to initiate a battle. Use them before the round ends or you'll lose them. Several abilities could trigger during a battle. To ensure every ability resolves correctly, make sure you follow the proper 6-step sequence. If multiple abilities trigger at the same time, the attacker chooses the order in which they resolve. Step 1. On attack. The on-attack abilities of attacking wonders resolve first. Step 2. On defense. The on-defense abilities of defending wonders resolve next. Step 3. On battle. The on-battle abilities of both attacking and defending wonders then resolve. Step 4. Check for victory. Sum the total power of all wonders in the realm. The higher total wins. Step 5. Move a stone. The winner seizes 1 stone from the center or the opponent. In a tie, nothing moves. Step 6. End of battle. Resolve any remaining end-of-battle abilities. Finally, if you're finished for the round, you can pass. Passing is free and doesn't cost an action. Keep in mind, if you're out of actions and abilities, passing is mandatory. However, passing isn't necessarily permanent. If your opponent makes a move you need to respond to later in the round, you can jump back in, provided you still have the energy and actions to do so. Let's recap. During each of your turns, you have 5 options or game actions to choose from. Draw a card from your deck. Play a card from your hand. Activate an ability of a card already on the board. Attack with all wonders in a single active realm. Or pass the turn to your opponent. Managing your actions is a crucial part of the game. While you have total freedom to perform these actions multiple times per round, remember that your actions are limited. With 3 base actions provided over 7 rounds, you are limited to only 21 total actions during a normal game unless you find ways to increase that number. And almost every move costs 1 action. However, the game offers several ways to maximize your action economy. First, many cards allow you to gain extra actions or even steal them from your opponent. You also have access to free actions which do not reduce your action count, although they still use your turn. We have already discussed those that are labeled free, like tap free, sacrifice free, and free attacks. Remember that Attuned and Harvest abilities are also free actions despite not saying free on the card. Finally, strategic passing is also a smart way to manage your limited actions. Passing is always free. And remember, passing once doesn't lock you out of the round. If your opponent takes an action after you pass, you can jump back in as long as you have actions available. Tip: if you're ahead, especially in round 7, the right play may be to pass and let your opponent use their actions first. Make them play catch-up and save your actions to respond. Players will continue to alternate turns until all players pass consecutively, which signals the end of the round. Note that if one player passes 21 times in a row, the round ends automatically, even if another player still has actions available. At the end of the round step, you will first trigger and resolve any effects that specify on round end or at end of round. If multiple abilities trigger simultaneously, the active player, meaning the last person to pass, decides the order in which they resolve. Any temporary effects that lasted this round or until end of round immediately expire. These never carry over into future rounds. Before moving to the next round, both players must perform 3 essential round end steps. Number 1, action drain. Any unspent actions are lost. 2, energy drain. Any unspent energy is also lost. 3, hand size check. Each player with more than 7 cards in their hand must discard down to exactly 7. With the first round complete, it's time to move into the next phase of the match. You will repeat the round start steps for each new round through the start of round 7. You will follow 5 steps to begin each round. Step 1. Open the next realm. Expand the world by placing a stone in the center of the next realm. This marks the realm as active and ready for play. Step 2. Resource replenishment. Add your energy and actions for the new round. The energy you receive is equal to the round number plus the number of stones you control. For example, if you are starting round 5 and control 2 stones, you would add 7 energy. And you start every new round with 3 actions. Step 3. Round start triggers. Resolve any effects that trigger on round start, or for the specific round number, for instance on round 7. If multiple round start abilities trigger, the active player, meaning the player who will take the first turn in the round, chooses the order of resolution. Step 4. Draw for the round. Each player draws 1 card to bolster their hand. Step 5. Determine who goes first. For rounds 2 through 7, the player who last seized a stone will take the first turn. If no stones have been seized yet, the player who started the game in round 1 remains the first player for the new round. With all the start of round steps complete, that player takes their first turn of the new round. You now know all about wonders of the first cards, the game zones, and the game setup. You also know how to start a new round, how to take turns and use actions within the round, and how to end each round. From here, players go back and forth taking turns, spending their resources and playing their cards as they see fit. It's non-stop fun every round as you battle your opponents for control of the realms and the stones. After 7 rounds of intense strategy and tactical combat, the game concludes, and we check the final state of the world to crown a winner. To determine the winner, first see who controls the most stones, including the 7 stones added for each realm and any additional stones that may have been added through cards. The player controlling the most stones overall wins the game. If both players control an equal number of stones, the victory is determined by the lowest numbered realm. This usually means the player controlling the most stones in the first realm takes the win. If Realm 1 is tied, check Realm 2, then Realm 3, and so on until the tie is broken. In the highly unlikely event that players are tied in every single realm, the game ends in a draw. But wait! While controlling the stones is the main path to victory, there is another way to win that requires no combat at all. If at any time a player's deck runs out of cards, that player immediately loses the game. This means that while rare, a player can win by forcing their opponent to draw cards until their deck is completely empty. And there you have it. From opening your first realm to seizing the final stone in round 7, that is how you play Wonders of the First, a game of expanding realms, strategic positioning, and careful resource management. This game is deep, complex, and full of surprises. Don't worry if you don't catch every nuance right away. The best way to learn is to get some cards on the table. I've also linked the official rulebook in the description for reference. You now know the basic rules, but there is plenty more to learn. Don't worry, I'll be back with more videos to explain the remaining keyword abilities. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know when those videos come out. Until next time, may your games be filled with wonder.